Okay, lesson 11 on Wednesday, January 27th is all about preparing for the performance task. So we will look at the opening and learning targets. We will go over the performance task recording planner that you need to complete and that should be submitted for grade today, and make sure that everybody understands the assignment. All right, so it says in the previous lesson, you analyzed a model performance task recording, noting the purpose and impact of the preface and reflection included in the recording. Today, you will write your own preface and reflection based on the text that you've selected in the previous lesson. So learning targets for today, I can analyze the context for reading, sentence from the model performance task preface, and I can plan the preface and reflection sections of my performance task recording. There was an exercise here that makes no sense to do in this format, but I wanted to explain this performance task again. I've gathered that some people are confused by what we're doing here. So our first sentence in the directions that we saw yesterday. Throughout this module, you've been learning about American Indian boarding schools. Despite their legacy and impact, these schools have been neglected in traditional narratives of American history. And what we are doing is to honor those who have experienced this injustice. So we talked about how most people before this study never heard about American Indian boarding schools, that they even existed, that their purpose and intention was to kill the Indian, to save the man, that it was all about assimilating the Native Americans into white culture, to basically get rid of their culture and identity. And because that's such a horrible part of our history that is neglected, we are doing this audio museum to honor those that experience this injustice and to give them a voice. So today you will work through this performance task recording planner. So let's go ahead to the next part of the assignment in today's lesson. It says work time performance task recording planner. At the top, there is a link for you to click on. For this task, you will need to make a copy of the performance task recording planner. Also within that assignment at the bottom is a link to see the model performance task recording planner. So your recording planner will look like this. It is going to be a blank document where you provide the biographical details. You're going to give the name of the source that you have chosen, give some details of their biography, details about the boarding school that they attended, and any context needed to understand the reading. So yesterday we heard an example of this performance task recording. And this is the performance task recording planner that was completed based on that recording. So you can reference this planner from the model to see what kind of information should be included for the various sections. And so this information is all about Luther Standing Bear, as he is the author of the excerpt that was read yesterday. So in yesterday's lesson, there was a link to the audio museum text document, and you were to select a source and then one of the text options under that source. So for example, if you chose source My People in the Sioux by Luther Standing Bear, text option A, this is where your focus would be. You would go back and complete that performance task recording planner based on Luther Standing Bear and his book, My People the Sioux. And you would come up with biographical details, details about his boarding school, and context to understand the reading. The middle section is where the reading itself goes, the excerpt that you're going to read. And then the last part of this document is a reflection. This is all your opinion. This cannot be wrong if you do it. You are answering why you selected the piece you did, what makes it meaningful, and what did you learn from it. This should be completed so that you can read from this to record tomorrow.